Nick Castrolang. My intersection with the fig tree is that my dad had been a board member and helped edit back when we first moved here and I was in middle school. And then when I graduated high school, Fig Tree was actually one of the first volunteer opportunities I took on because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do after college. And you came calling and said you needed extra help. And I said, sure, why not? Ended up being the resource director I spent a lot of time on, which is great because it's something I still use to this day and give out to clients that I help at the regional health district in our methadone program there. So it's kind of full circle that it was like one of the first things I've ever done. And now I'm using it every day and kind of asking for more as we run out because people really use it. I'm an administrative assistant. Our methadone program serves about 950 to 1,000 people in Spokane. It's been around about 35 years or so. So I work at the front desk. So I'm the first point of contact for all the new patients, current patients, and they come from all walks of life, and a lot of the time they're coming off the street. So the first thing I usually do is try to offer them something. Can't always offer food or clothing, but it can offer their directory, and the directory has those things in it. And I'm constantly highlighting stuff. Our substance use counselors and mental health counselors use it regularly too, so it's a great resource.
So when you were volunteering with the Fig Tree with the directory, what were you doing?
Research
You did
about
research.
like calling to make sure phone numbers were right, your address still here, is this your website, all the stuff that's really important. That was 2008, so not as many places had an active internet presence as they do now. And there were more established groups that have been around for a really long time. But, you know, it's still a great resource. The fact that it's online now, too, is just wonderful because whenever someone asks, oh, where's one place I can find everything, I just send them to the Fig Tree website. And it's great because there's the directory link, but then if they see a cool article and they have something to read, too, which is really great, and it's all local, so it's awesome, too. My parents are both United Church of Christ ministers, both recently retired. So I grew up in the United Church of Christ. Social justice is like the UCC way. I grew up in a household that had C-SPAN on all the time. And so it was never just about like, can you go to the soup kitchen and help out? But it was like, what action can we take to feed more people? So how can we go to Olympia or, you know, DC, and how can we make a larger difference? You know, my first experiences, I've been pretty lucky, were like around 15 or 16 with the Spokane Alliance, and that was all through Westminster and through the UCC, through those connections there. So that all that social justice stuff has led to where I am at my current job, where I still get to help people. So it's, you know, that's how I got involved with the Fig Tree, and it's a big part of who I am. So, well, I think the Fig Tree does something that we have lost in journalism a lot. So much is about headlines and how much can I read in 2 or 3 paragraphs. And the Fig Tree always dives in deeper, and you really get to know the people you're reading about. I think the directory is great because, like I said, I was working on it at 18, and now I'm 35 with my kids and my wife, and I'm still sending people there. You know, my dad was working with the Fig Tree when I was in middle school. So, I mean, I think it's amazing to see how through all those generations, it's still around, still so well respected. And when people see you or see the Fig Tree, I can be like, she goes to my church and I volunteered with them. And they're like, that's awesome, you know? So I don't think that's as common as it used to be, especially in an era where journalism is under attack and local journalism is really under attack. It's just great, the staying power that the Fig Tree's had, and I look forward to it being around forever. So I try not to look at the news too much now, which is really sad. Like, I'm constantly telling my coworkers and my wife, like, don't just look at your phone all the time. But that's what I love about the Fig Tree, because it's not just like a lot of local news, a lot of national news is what's going to get clicks. And when I read a Fig Tree article, I still like to read the actual paper and like lay it out and like take the time to read through it. And that's just not super common anymore. Most people are like, I scrolled twice, that's too long, I'm not reading that. But Fig Tree articles really are about people, and the greatest part is that every time I read an article, I usually know someone in the story, or if I don't know them, I know the organization they work for, or I know someone that knows them, which is really great. And it just kind of shows how like interconnected the community is, even when people think we're in our corners. Like the Fig Tree really tries to drive forward the fact that we all have something in common, and if you take the time to read about it, you're going to learn that too.